how can I generate leads, create exposure, turn leads into clients? I want people to understand it's not necessarily about getting everything done in the morning. I was like, man, how can we get a big bag? How can we get a digital bag? How can I be on my mobile digital empire? How can I get the information that I didn't receive from my parents? How can I move and shake? How can I experience? How can I have money coming to me every single day? It's like if you charge up your car, you can go. So if I don't do that for an extended period, I'm not full. I can't fully have the energy and give as much as I would like to give.
What's going on, family? It is your boy Marcus, back with another episode on the Digital Empire Podcast, where we talk about everything digital investments and entrepreneurship. And you know, we got a great guest here today.
Look, I'm talking to you all every single episode about how to be able to create a six-figure digital empire. And some of y'all haven't taken action yet. Y'all just, for some reason, life haven't slapped you in the face yet where it's like, yo, I'm tired of being at the place that I'm in right now. I'm tired of working my 9 to 5. I want to create a business. I want to become an entrepreneur. I'm tired of working for someone else when they don't even care about me. Look, I have something for you. I was working a 9 to 5, literally not even a year ago. It's going to be a year this year that I have been able to leave my 9 to 5 to be able to come to you guys and show you how I was able to leave working at Papado, 101 Steak, Ruth Chris, all hospitality places, y'all, to now being able to break 100K months. Literally, this is what happened. Let me tell you. I was able to break 100K months in 6 months, to be more exact. And I'm going to show you exactly how I was able to do it and how exactly I was able to do it from working a job, creating multiple 4 to 5 figures while working my 9 to 5, to then leaving my 9 to 5, to then scaling my business. Y'all, I'm going to show you how to fund your business without using your own money. There's so many things in this book that I could be charging tens of thousands of dollars, and I'm going to share with you how exactly I did it and with pennies of the dollar. It costs $10, y'all. Worst case scenarios, you learn something more and profit off of it. Okay, so look, click the link, thedigitalempire.ebook.com. Get the ebook, y'all.
This man is teaching y'all something that you cannot Google, you cannot YouTube, and you cannot even think up, because this is an original idea. So I want y'all to really tap in with my boy, Brendan. Boy, you good, bro? How you feeling?
Yo, I'm excited, bro. I'm excited to be on the pod, bro. This is a long time coming. You know what it is, man. Like, hella admiration for you, your brother, your moms, you know what I'm saying? Like, your family, just in general. I'm excited to be here, bro.
Man, look, we excited for you to be here, man. It's a long time coming. I mean, we had a little glitch earlier, but we gonna get through it.
Podcast gods, bro.
Man, they don't want us to win. That's all it is. They don't want us to win. But can you tell the audience, like, what you do, who you are, and who do you serve?
Man, that's great, bro. So basically what I do is, as a digital media entrepreneur, I combine podcasting, digital products, and I have a pod agency. And I help business owners, entrepreneurs who have a product and service get in front of more people by using podcasts, YouTube series, and some influencer marketing. They can turn our audience into leads into their business so they can do more sales and close more deals.
Interesting. Like I said, no one's ever heard of that. So we're going to dive into that like a little bit later. But I want to go back a little bit. Like, I want to talk to the OG Brendan real quick. I don't like podcasts that just talk about the hype. This is just me. I want to know what got them to the point that they...
Oh, you got your questions ready then.
Man, we good to... Look, what were you at before... We have superhero Brendan right now. What did the OG do before?
I got you, man. So pre-superhero, it got to start as a preteen, bro. And this is a story of resiliency, man. But 12 years old, my dad passed away. And I don't know if you've ever seen the movie, The Story Beyond the Pines. But anyway, my dad passed away when I was 12 years old. And the reason why I bring this movie up is because there's a dichotomy between like that relationship, what I feel like is kind of similar to my father. So in that movie, the father figure, in that relationship, the son ends up doing some of the things that the dad did, but he never met his father. His father died. So I always think, what type of habits or, idiosyncrasies do I have that, my dad used to display that just got passed on, right? So my dad died when I was 12 years old, and he died from AIDS, bro. You know what I'm saying? He was just in the streets. You know what I'm saying? He was in the streets selling drugs, but then also like, womanizing. Maybe he just had multiple women, you know what I'm saying? So I can't say he was womanizing, but he ended up having 5 kids for a woman that he got pregnant. But anyway, he died when I was 12 years old. And I remember my grandmother on my dad's side would ask, like, did I want to go to the funeral? And I was like, nah, because like he left me on the porch several times talking about he gonna come through. Never came through. No updates, no communication, no nothing. And back in the day, there was no social media, there's no internet. You know what I mean? Like, if you made a phone call Like you gonna do you making that call, or if you're like, yo, I'm gonna call you at 8:05. People are gonna call you at 8:05,
Right,
Because
right,
it's
right.
like that was it. Like you knew you was waiting for the call, or the person that was doing the call was gonna happen.
Facts.
There was a very small amount of people not doing what they said it was gonna do. He was doing what he wasn't, saying he wasn't gonna do. So he left me on the stoop several times. So when he passed away, my grandmother on my dad's side asked me if I wanted to go to the funeral. I was like, nah. So I just harbored all this bitterness, during that time. And a couple years towards him, a couple years after that, my mom passed away. You know what I mean? And she passed away from drugs, bro. She was sharing needles and just so like she ended up catching like double pneumonia, you know what I'm saying? Passed away. But she used to take me to the crack houses. So I used to go to the crack houses, see my mom use, crack, use cocaine, shoot up needles, share those needles, you know what I mean? But I do recall like the pusher man, like the dude that was in charge of like the crack house, like he was mad cool. He used to just treat me like really good, like really well. I don't know why, but I just recall, just like he just had really positive, like loving type vibes, right? That I would get from him. So my mom died at the age of 15. My grandmother was my legal guardian, and she passed away when I was 16, and that was from lung cancer. Back in the day, like late 70s, 80s, early 90s, like smoking was just like you wearing a shirt.
Yeah,
you know what I'm saying? Everybody, it was just culture. Like you could smoke on the airplane, like you know what I'm saying? Like it was just everywhere. Smoking in a bar, like you smoking wherever. But like that 16 years of time that I had with her, it felt like 30 years, bro. Like when I look back on it, it's like, man, I was only with her for that amount of time, but it's like it felt like we was together for so much longer because that's the type of impact she had on me.
Interesting.
You know what I mean? So yeah, man. But I never felt bad for myself. I mean, I have other family members that passed away. I had a brother that passed. My aunts, uncles, 2 great grandmothers, they all passed. One of my best friends passed away. You know what I mean? This is all like late teens, early 20s. You know what I mean? But I never felt bad for myself. I always felt like, this was just a hand I was played. I didn't feel like a victim. But I felt like what I was seeing was just show me what not to do. Don't use drugs. Like, don't sell drugs. Don't drink. You know what I mean? Like, don't be overweight or whatever. Like, I just felt like these were just messages that was like downloads,
right?
Of like what path to chart, like far opposite of everything that I was seeing. You know what I mean? So going through all of that, I just wanted to improve, be better, you know what I mean? And just, chart my path the best way that I knew how with what I had at the time.
So, the movies and even in real life, usually people are saying, and I'm going to say to like father and son wise, because that's usually the examples that they give, is the son never wants to be like the father, but then ends up being like the father later on in life.
That's what the movie's about.
Okay, so cool. So then how are you battling or even not battling, not being like your father?
That's a good question, man. I didn't really know too much about my dad, right? So the things that I knew is what I could see or what knowledge I had. So he was in the streets. He was selling drugs, using drugs, multiple kids. So I knew I didn't want to sell drugs. I didn't want to use drugs, and I didn't want to have multiple kids. So that I could see that. I don't want to do that, right?
And multiple kids as in with multiple women having
multiple
kids?
women,
so
yeah.
You're cool with having one woman with multiple kids? Or just no kid or multiple
kids? Well, I mean,
yeah,
if I'm with a woman, and I had a kid with her, we having multiple kids, that's cool. But
okay.
I want to have like 4 or 5 different women with kids.
Right.
I'm not judging or saying there's anything wrong with that.
That's just your preference.
I've seen my dad do that. I would prefer not to do that for me.
Right.
It seems like a lot of maintenance. Seems like a lot of money going out.
Yeah, facts.
I'm cool. You know what I'm saying? A lot of headache, a lot of kid coordination. Unless, because you get the big bag, and everybody just live with you. You can do that too.
Yeah, for sure.
But then growing up, I just knew that I wanted to do that. So asking me that question now, a direct response to what I was seeing is kind of like what you mentioned, like the son repeats patterns from the dad, right? But I didn't know my dad. So I assumed that maybe some of the patterns that are repeated from him was me dating multiple women, like handling multiple women, not committing, dealing with multiple women. You know what I'm saying? Just like, me being selfish in that mode of like, yeah, I'm gonna talk to her, and I'm not gonna commit to nobody, and I'm gonna just move and shake, and I'm gonna just do me, and I'm not gonna allow anything to be close to me. But like years and years of that. So maybe that I could say, maybe that's probably something that I downloaded subconsciously from my father. I didn't have any direction though. You know what I'm saying? I didn't know how to treat a woman or be in a relationship, the best way. But I did learn like chivalry. I did learn, how to be a nice person. I did learn how to be a nice man to a woman. But I also felt like that was also my way to get what I wanted.
Gotcha.
You know what I'm saying? It's a way for me to manipulate. Maybe it was my way to manipulate relationships or situations to be my benefit by like, yo, I'm nice. And I am nice, but it was like something attached to it.
Right,
you know what I'm saying? It's
like
I'm nice.
Was like a transaction.
Yeah, I'm nice, but yeah, I'm gonna need like just something I want attached to that. Like,
Got you.
You know what I'm saying?
Got you. So what about currently, right? So like women wise, like is it still the same mindset now than it was then?
Nah, bro. I've grown so much since then. I spent so much money on my personal development. I spent so much time on my morning routine, on my daily routine. Like that's so not important to me, you know what I'm saying? Just in terms of like physical, like being with a woman for the physical, having sex with a woman. I feel like I've done that, you know what I'm saying? I want to like do things that I've never experienced, and when God blesses me with the woman that's gonna be by my side, I want to have these experiences with her. But nah, bro, I'd rather like be building with you. Like, what we doing today? Like, you know what I'm saying? What are some ideas that we could formulate? How could we get a big bag? How can we get a digital bag? How can I, be on my mobile digital empire? You know what I'm saying? How can I move and shake? How can I experience? How can I have money coming to me every single day?
Right. Right.
How can I get the information that I didn't receive from my parents? And when I'm in a position, share that with my children, but at least right now, share that with as many people that I can come in contact with. You know what I'm saying?
Got you.
It's not important, man. What's important is like impact, you know what I'm saying? Change. With yourself first and then with other people.
Internally before externally.
Yeah, 100%.
100%. So let's talk about your routine real quick.
Yeah.
Like I'm big on routine. Every entrepreneur likes the day in the life. Everyone likes the daily routine thing. See what other people are doing. Yeah. So like what's your routine throughout the day?
Okay, word. So first thing I do is I wake up at like 4 a.m.
That is way too early for me, y'all. I'm just going to put that.
So I wake up at 4 a.m. And first thing I do is I read. So I read like 20 minutes. Then I'll go into a meditation, and normally it's a guided meditation, and I'll get a download like what's my vibe today? Do I want like motivation, inspiration? Do I want to guided meditation on a specific subject? So I'll do the guided meditation. I'll pray. After that, what I'll do is I'll read my affirmations. You know what I'm saying? Then I'll write my goals down. Goals I'm writing down, it's a specific like. Okay, I'll give you an example. So at one point I was like, I want to make 100K in a month. So I would write that down every single day. Like I would write that on 20 lines every single day. So I'm making $3,500 a day. You know what I'm saying? It's like 105K or whatever. I'm so happy and grateful I'm making $3,500 a day. But I would write that down, on 20 lines. It's kind of like, remember in elementary school, you would get in trouble. You had to
write it down over and over and over
again.
Yeah.
So now I'm doing it to prime my subconscious. So I'm doing that with whatever my goal is. So I'll switch that up.
Did you switch that quarterly, yearly?
As soon as I achieve the goal.
Okay, that's valid.
Then I'm doing 200 push-ups. While I'm doing 200 push-ups, I'm listening to probably like Myron or Eric Thomas or Peter Kell. Those are the vibrations I need, one or the other in the morning. Then I'll walk to the gym. I'm in the gym for about an hour 10. Then immediately after the gym, I do a 45-minute walk and I'm listening to an audiobook.
Why 200 push-ups before the gym?
It gets my blood moving.
Got you.
You know what I'm saying?
It's about your body waking up.
It gets my blood moving. And then what I found was if you don't do nothing else and you just do push-ups, you're still working your entire body.
Yeah, of course.
So for me, it's like my foundational exercise before I even move my body or get to the gym.
Got you.
Yeah. It's like a mindset thing too, because it's almost like my version of a cold plunge, and the cold plunge is different, or a cold shower. Doing the push-ups every day don't get easy. It's not like you do the push-ups, it's like, oh, tomorrow I bang these out. Nah, bro, it gets harder. So it's like I give my mind a challenge every day. It's like, yeah, you did these yesterday, but yo, do them today. And it don't take me that long, because now I can do sets of 50, you know what I'm saying? And I'll just knock them
just
out.
not 4
it's
sets.
like, you know what I'm saying? And I'll
Gotcha.
just knock them out. It immediately allows me to do something difficult,
Mm-hmm.
you know? And once I do something difficult, then it really gets my blood flowing, like I said, but then it opens up the rest of my day. And I wake up at 4 o'clock because one of the things I really, really love is being able to see the colors in the sky. I live in LA, so
Right.
sometimes it be like purples and oranges and reds, you know what I mean? And
So
I
it's
really,
also
really like that.
it's also an emotional trigger at the same time.
Yeah, 100%.
So what about the evening routine? So we got the morning
Yeah.
routine. Is that do you do anything in the evening to prepare yourself for the morning?
Yeah. So in the evening, I'm normally winding down at like 8:30. You know what I'm saying? 9. You know, if I got a project, then I'm gonna go longer. But generally, it's like 8 or 9. You know, I might eat like a final meal. I might go on another walk. You know what I mean? And then I'll just write like what the things I want to accomplish the next day. So nighttime is really like a smaller routine. And then the thing that I always do is whatever I want my subconscious to absorb, I'll play that while I'm sleeping.
Got you.
You know what I mean? So it could be just some music, but generally it's like some type of like, it could be a podcast, it could be an audio book, it could be a motivation. You know what I'm saying? Something. I'll normally just have that on and I'll fall asleep to that.
Okay. So this is interesting because I want to challenge the routine for a second.
Let's go.
So we have the Hermosis, we have other podcasts out there that really, they're not saying that they don't believe in routines.
Yeah.
They're saying that those are great for psychology, but not great to get to work. Right? So I want to ask you, what about your routine prepares you, or not even prepare you? Like, what does your deep work look like? Do you need those? Do you need the morning routine to get to work? Like, could you remove that and then still get to work?
No, I mean, I've done it so much that, I could get to work without it.
Okay.
But I need it for my inner. It allows me to fill up my cup. So my cup's full, so then I could be on the digital empire. Me and you could chop it up. You know what I mean? It's like if you go to the gas station or the supercharger and you charge up your car, you can go.
Right.
So if I'm not doing that, if I don't do that for an extended period, I'm not full.
Right.
I can't fully have the energy, fully have the vibrations, and give as much as I would like to give. That's my natural state of being.
Right.
If I'm not doing that.
So what about when you're traveling, like right now? Like, how does your routine work when you're traveling?
100%. So I have like a compartmentalized version. You know what I mean? Because like I might not be next to a gym. So those 200 push-ups are a little bit more. There's more weight on those now. You know what I mean? I can still write. I can still read. I can still do my audiobook. So everything else I can pretty much do. And this is the thing also. I want people to understand it's not necessarily about getting everything done like in the morning.
Right.
Your goal or the routines can be spread out during the day. Like I feel like as long as you get the stuff done.
That's how I feel.
Yeah. As long as you get this stuff done, I think that's the most important thing. I mean, to me.
Yeah, for
you know,
me
so
as well. Yeah.
It's like if you got a checklist and you got, let's say, you up 18 hours or 16 hours, whatever. How many hours you got in a day that you're not sleeping? And you got 12 things that you want to do. You knock them all out. It's a dub.
Exactly. That's how I feel.
Yeah, it's a dub.
I remember I was having a conversation with Judah the other day, our mutual friend, right? And she is a strong advocate of the morning routine.
Yeah.
Like, she's one of those people where it's like, yo, if I don't do the morning routine, my day is not successful. You get what I'm saying? And so I'm more like, yo, as long as I get the thing done.
Yeah.
Like,
that's where I'm at.
I don't care about the morning routine.
It's
like
great if I can get it all done before I go to the gym. But every day ain't the same, bro.
Exactly.
So if I can't, as long as I chart it before the end of the day, I'm good.
And for me, I also feel like the amount of time can vary too. So let's say I'm listening to a podcast and usually it's 30 minutes. Like, I will be satisfied if it's 10. It's the fact that I did it.
Yeah, facts.
You get what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Like, because I could just not do it. You know what I mean? And I may not have had 30 minutes that day, especially if there's like an event.
Yeah.
If I'm traveling,
Yeah.
if I'm doing something business-wise that grabs my attention or that needs to grab my attention. You know what I'm saying? Like, I feel like
every
if
day
I
ain't
just
perfect.
attempt it.
Yeah, everything ain't perfect, bro. You know what I'm saying? So sometimes it's gonna rain, snow, sleet, hurricane, tornado, earthquake. you know,
Right.
mudslide.
Which I got a lot of them.
We got a couple. You know,
How did when you get the earthquakes? How does that?
yo, the whole
feel
joint
weird?
moving, bro. Like
Wait,
the
what?
earth moving.
Wait, hold up. So like, if you're doing something,
It's like their whole house would be moving right now, like shaking. Like-
what? So like, wait,
Like
wait.
that.
So like, things are falling.
I mean, if it's a rocky one, yeah, things could fall for sure.
Wait, so it's not? Is it normally rocky,
I mean,
or is it like just shaking and you just see things rumble
you
and?
can see things like the house moving.
Oh,
First time I moved to California, right? And I've experienced it. I didn't know what it was, but it hit me. I was like, oh wait, this is an earthquake. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, cause you ain't prepared
this man
for
said,
it.
"Wait, that was an earthquake."
I was like, I'm in the middle of it. Like, I'm like, wait a minute. Oh, it's an earthquake. Like, you know?
Yo, ain't no
But
way.
I sleep through them, bro. I be sleeping through them. It's crazy. I can sleep through pretty much. I can go sleep right now.
This guy. Look, are you looking for a like-minded community of people who are trying to build a digital investment and digital entrepreneurship business? Well, look, we got something for you. You are listening to this podcast because you want to build a digital investment or become an entrepreneur. Well, look, we got a big community down below in the description. It's called the Digital Empire Patreon. This is something that only people who have joined and listened to this podcast. So this is an exclusive people. You have to listen to this podcast just to be able to get to this Patreon. Okay. So go ahead, subscribe. It literally costs you less than a coffee. Get in, go ahead and just join and get the free content that is a part of that. And I'm telling you, y'all, this content that I'm breaking down, I'm not putting out in public. So you must join in order to get the exclusive stuff that I can't even say in public. So look, y'all, just tap in, just click the link.
Like that's one blessing that
Yo.
I got from God.
Is you
That's
can go to
why
sleep anywhere.
anytime I want on command, fam.
On command?
Yes.
So like you could just, and you out.
I'm out, bro.
Bruh,
I can
I
anytime I
wish.
want.
I wish.
This podcast
I have
trash.
deep
This
sleep.
podcast trash. You know what I'm
And just
saying?
go to
And
sleep.
Just go
You
to
get what I'm
bed,
saying?
bro.
Ain't no way, bro.
I love it.
I need some form of like preparation before I go to sleep.
Nah. I'm like Brendan.
I be jealous of y'all be going to
do,
sleep
do.
that fast, bro.
Do.
That's nah, bro.
Yo,
Ain't no
anytime,
way.
bro.
All right, so let's pivot real quick. So we talked about OG Brendan real quick, but I want to talk about like what got you to to your business right now, the podcast agency right now.
Yeah.
Like what made you say, you know what, we're gonna? Because I remember before, I believe when we spoke before, it was like more of marketing.
Yeah.
You get what I'm saying? It
Master your marketing.
Yeah, it wasn't really like heavy podcasts, or you were doing podcasts, of course.
Had
but
a
like
podcast,
you
yeah.
weren't promoting it as I have a podcast agency.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? So like what was that? Like what made you pivot?
So normally, like with my clients, I'll be like, if you don't know what you want to go into, let's do an audit, right? Let's find out the things that you are doing. Let's find out the things that you're not doing. Let's find out any issues in your business that you wish that were better, or that you could solve. So I did an audit on myself, and what I found in my business, it was consistent for a while. And with the consistency was, I always had a lead gen problem.
Interesting.
You know what I'm saying? I just had a lead
like
gen
every
problem.
other entrepreneur in life.
Yeah, exactly. I had a lead gen problem, bro.
Right.
You know what I mean? So I was like, man, how can I generate leads, create exposure? What if I didn't have a budget, and how can I turn leads into clients? Right. Then two of my friends, actually three of my friends, challenged me, all independent of each other, which was interesting, but it was around the same time. They was like, yo, what you're doing is cool, but like, I feel like there's more to this podcast thing. So they challenged
So
me.
they put a seed there.
Yeah, they put a
planted
seed there. I'm like, I don't want to teach people to podcast. Like, it was just, I was like, I don't want to do that. So they planted a seed. A month later, I was like, Eureka, I got it. You know what I'm saying? And it was like, yo, if I go on shows, I'm getting exposure. My brand awareness is growing. They're edifying me in real time. My digital footprint's growing. I could turn the audience into clients. I can grow my email list, grow my text message list. I'm going to just put out an offer, see what happens. Put out an offer after Black Friday 2022. And I got 2 clients. And, bro, I got the clients. I didn't even know what I was doing. And when I got the clients, I got one of them off the pod close, which we can talk about.
Right.
And the other one was just a call. I just put out an offer. And at the time, I only had one offer. It was $7,800, and they were both one page, bro.
What?
I was like, yo.
That's how you know that. That's what I'm saying. That's how you know it's such a unique, like what your business is so unique. And we've had hours of conversation about this.
Yeah.
Like I have never heard of a play that way. Can you explain to them the play real quick?
Yeah. So you want to know about the actual agency, or do you want to know about one of the lead gen strategies to get them to the agency?
The lead gen strategy to get them to the agency.
All right. So so this is the lead gen strategy, or one of the lead gen strategies to get you to the agency or on a call to potentially be a client on the agency. So basically, what I realized is that if I'm like, yo, Markus, I got a product and service, man. Listen, I would love to give you on a sales call to talk about how I can help you. What would you say?
I say sure, but like, what would it be?
But generally, if somebody says a sales call, what's the show up rate?
Oh, like probably like it ranges depending on how good you are, but I'd say between 10 and 20%.
That's low AF. But I mean, that's standard.
That's standard.
Yeah.
You get what I'm saying? Nowadays, they're trying to make it 30.
But if I'm like, yo, Charles Slayer, I love your story, bro. I've seen you on a podcast. I've seen you with your family. I would love to have you as a guest on my podcast. What you gonna say?
I'm gonna definitely say yes.
Okay.
That's a higher close than
you got 20% of people accepting. So that's 80% of people who don't want the sales call. Even if it can help them, just because it's framed that way.
Right.
You got like 95% of people that's gonna be like, yes, I want to come on the pod, right?
Yep.
So what I did was I took that intel and I created a virtual lead gen podcast strategy. So basically what happens is just like that, right? I would have a DM setter or outreach team reach out to our ideal clients, right? Let them know, hey, listen, you're someone that we would love to feature on a podcast, right? Would you like to come on? They typically would always say yes. Like I said, 90% people are going to respond and say yes. Once they say yes, we give them an invitation. It's a booking link. On this booking link is like some pre-framed questions. There's a little video with me now, right, that talks about the opportunity, what it is, and a calendar link. They book themselves. So boom, they're on a calendar, right? They get an email automation. They get an email text. I mean, an email text. They get email automation, text automation. On that text is another video of me now saying, hey, listen, we're excited to have you on the podcast. Just to let you know, we would love to show you how you can utilize podcasts to gain your exposure. So now they know they're going to get a little bit more information.
So wait, hold up, because it's something I may need to do.
You know what we're doing.
I'm thinking, I'm an integrator. So I'm thinking, okay, boom, boom, boom. So when someone books an appointment, it redirects them to a page with a video. Yeah. And this video, of course, gives them some information about.
It basically it like excites them. It revs them up. Hey,
That's
listen.
what I need to do.
Hey, listen, what's up? This is Brendan. We're excited to have you on the Imperfect Action Show. Just to let you know, all you need to do is fill out the little form below so we can get your information and book yourself on our calendar. We're excited to have you on the podcast. That's like video one.
Okay, so is this before they book or after they book?
This is during the booking process. Once they click that link, video, and then form. And once they fill out the form, they go to the calendar. Once on the calendar, they select the time that we have allotted and set. Once they select the time slot, they get on the calendar, they get a text confirmation, an email confirmation, and then about 10 minutes later or 5-10 minutes later, they'll get another text. This text is a video of me. Now, I pre-framed you with the questions. Now, I just want to make sure you understand the assignment. Hey, listen, this is Brendan. We're excited to have you on the show. Right now, you should have already booked yourself, right? Now, look, wanted to let you know, podcasting is an exciting opportunity for you to get in front of more people. We will love to share more information on how you would do that. Regardless if you would like to share this, regardless if you want to take advantage of this or not, you're still going to get your free podcast.
Got you. So this is so if I'm okay. So let's say I invite you to the podcast.
Yep.
Right. I'm sending you to a site with a video.
We just use like a go high level. So it's like a form.
Okay.
Yeah.
So it's the video with the button at the bottom or the form at the bottom of the video.
It's a video with like just some questions on the form.
Got you.
Yep. And once they fill out the form, they click it. They'll go to the next page, which
is the booking
calendar
link.
Yep.
Okay, I'm on the right track.
Yeah.
All right, cool.
Yeah.
Continue. My bad.
Yeah, boom. So once they go through all of that, they get the video. Now they're fully pre-framed. They fully understand what's going on. They booked it, they booked their time on the calendar. Now, when that date shows up, in their email booking link is the podcast link, contact information, number, email, everything, any notes. So all they got to do is go to their email, get access to the pod. As soon as they click that link, once it's their date and time, there's a podcast host that I hired. Virtual.
Got you.
That's going to run the whole podcast. And now their job is to make them feel amazing, make them feel premium, highlight their product, service, what they do, but then ask or pre-frame a couple of small little questions to them just to kind of like fully indoctrinate them. Actually, just plant a couple more seeds. When a podcast is over, they're like, hey, listen, how was the show? They can be like, yeah, man, the show was amazing. All right, great. Would you like to learn how you can have more of these experiences? And generally, they're gonna say, yeah.
Yeah, because you're not trying to close them. You're closing them, but like you're using experiences. You're not using sales words that makes somebody cringe. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, and we already gave them mad value.
Right.
You know? So it's a real podcast. So they can share it. You know what I'm saying? So it's out there, and then again, so about 65%, 70% of people say, yeah, they want to learn more information. And then the podcast setter, the host setter, just sends the book someone to call with the closer. So now what happens is we have all these leads, whether they book a call or not, we can do an email drip. We can do a text drip. We can just keep them on the thing because some people may need to be warmed up. Yeah. And in that thread, we're just giving them information on podcasts. Oh, boom, this podcast came out. This person on a podcast, boom, they talked about this. This is how you can use podcast guesting. This is different ways that you can repurpose and repackage the content. So we're just giving them more and more and more value.
Facts.
The entire time. And yeah, bro, it works. It works very well.
So for the people who aren't really following what he's saying, and because I know the people who are is probably excited, but for the people who aren't getting it, they're pretty much what he's saying is that he's closing deals by leveraging podcast experiences.
A virtual show.
Virtually.
That I'm not hosting.
Correct. He has a team that does it for him, which not anybody can hire because you got to know how to hire. Yeah. But like anybody can do it, but you got to have the right knowledge in order to know how to do it.
Yeah, facts.
You get what I'm saying? So explain to them now your podcast agency side. Like how does your podcast agency work that's, I guess, separate from the lead generation, or is it separate?
No, it's separate. It's separate. So that's just one of the ways we bring leads in. What the pod agency is essentially, it's a PR agency that focuses on utilizing podcast platforms, YouTube series, and some influencer marketing. And what we do is we'll take an entrepreneur or business person who's interested on getting more exposure, because you could be the best kept secret, in front of your followers or in front of your subscribers or at home. But if those are the only people that know you, you're going to be stuck at a certain revenue mark.
Correct.
Right? So we help you get in front of more people, right? Consistently on podcasts is evergreen. The content is being created like effortlessly.
Yeah.
Because you just showing up, and you could, if you're doing virtual, it's home, office, car, wherever you want to shoot it. Low lift, 30 minutes, 45 minutes, you in and out. And then all that content could be repackaged and repurposed for, your YouTube, for your short form user generated content, for ads, for shout out pages, for other methods that you could just push out. And you can always repost stuff.
Exactly.
And it's evergreen, so it's highly searchable. And another great thing about it is if you met somebody and they could be a potential client and you're very short on time, you shot a podcast, and that podcast basically talks about you and your business. You could literally share the link to them, and then say, listen, I know you're out of time. Here's a little 30-minute podcast. Watch that. I'll follow up with you in like 2 days. And then when you follow up in 2 days, they already primed up and ready.
Yeah, because they want to be on a podcast.
Yeah, but I mean your client.
Oh, got you.
Yeah. Let's say you're in the elevator, you're short on time, you're about to catch your Uber, but you overhear somebody that might be a good client. You just meet somebody that might be a potential client. You done shot 4 podcasts already. You could send the best one, or you could send the one that really highlights on, maybe your products and services, because maybe the other ones talk a little bit more about your story, right? Whatever the case may be.
It's like a sales follow-up.
Yeah, just send that link to the person that you got short time. So they can get more
information.
They get more information, and then you just follow up.
That makes complete sense.
They're done spending 30, 60, 90 minutes of time with you, because now they like that. They might go check out the other ones.
100%.
And then you follow up. They're gonna spend a whole hour and a half with you. I got that from Ravi Avivala, who used to be one of my coaches back in the day, and he would say like,
For real?
yeah, you want to get like 7 hours of content.
Of content before actually having them
Yeah,
say,
yeah.
bro, I study Robbie, bro.
Yeah, Robbie's fire, bro.
I know he
Yeah,
is.
he's fire.
I was trying to go to his event, but I don't know when he having his event. I
The
paid for it and everything.
Miami joint.
Yeah.
Yeah. I wanted to go last year, but the time.
The time didn't work for me last year
Yeah.
either.
I
Because
would
we
go
still
this
had the
year.
Dubai thing coming up,
Yeah.
and
So he got a 2023 one.
I paid it in 2022 for the 2023.
Oh,
he hasn't had it yet.
release it yet?
No.
Okay, yeah. Let me know. I would go to that.
That'd be
him.
lit.
Yeah, I rock with him.
So, in regards to the connections, how does a person? Because it's PR, right? So, first explain. Can you explain people what PR is?
PR is public relations, and basically that's you getting exposure. And there's good PR and there's bad PR, but really PR is all good because
Right.
if it's bad, it just means more people are sharing the content faster. If it's good, it just means you're out there. So that's why like things go viral because it might be like you might have said something kind of like spicy,
Right.
Or you might be with someone that has a little bit of controversy, or maybe a dog got hit by a car or something. Peter, I don't mean nothing by that.
Dang.
But, something happens. You know what I'm saying? And then people want to pay attention.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? So yeah, you want to make sure that in a lot of people, a lot of entrepreneurs, business owners, they don't get this. You need to ensure that you have some type of exposure piece, some type of marketing piece inside of your business. That has to be like paramount.
Marketing has to be the
Yeah.
first thing you do.
It has to be paramount.
That's the first thing I do every day.
Listen, you can have a full business with all resources, a team, products, and services, and don't sell nothing. And I can have an offer and none of that, and I can sell more than you because I'm putting an
you
offer
have more
out.
people.
Yeah, and I'm putting an offer out in front of more people.
Yeah, you got more attention going
Yeah,
on.
100%.
I definitely agree with that. So how does a person gain the connections? How do you gain the connections to be able to drive other people to go on other podcasts?
Yeah, man. So okay, I think you have to have a like of people. Number one, I think you always need to lead from value. I think you need to be selfless in your approach, and I also think you need to be able to float value. So, for instance, we spent time together. We talked on the phone. We be in the DMs. I have a sense of like the value you bring. I kind of like store that in my head. Now, if I run across, let's say Sarah, and she would be perfect for like what you do, or vice versa, I'd be like, okay, cool. Let me make that connection. I mean, I did that this weekend.
Yeah, I do that all the time with people too.
You know what I'm saying? So you have to be able to do something like that. But then you also have to be like, okay, how can I build these relationships intentionally? And one of the best ways that I found out how anyone can build relationships intentionally, podcasting.
Right.
Because with podcasting, again, everyone's saying yes.
Everybody likes to talk about themselves.
Exactly. So you can talk to 6, 7, 8, 9-figure earners, business owners, founders. You know what I mean? Like you can get anyone that you want to come on the show, which means you can use this as an opportunity to build relationships.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? But yeah, anyone that is good at connecting, anyone that's interested in like bringing people together, there's space for you here.
That's lit. And it's a major need. The podcast, and it's booming right now.
Yeah.
It like 2 years ago, 3 years ago, it wasn't this booming.
Yeah.
Everybody has a podcast or starting a podcast.
Yeah,
now.
everybody, yeah.
You get what I'm saying? So talk about your podcast real quick. Like what are the names of your podcasts?
So I got On the Pursuit podcast. That's my like in-person podcast. Where we can like,
Yeah, we doing that.
Yeah, we doing that. You know what I'm
Doing
saying? And then I have, so that's one of that's like my mobile podcast. I'm traveling. I host it anywhere. I bring it with me. I really like that because I wanted something that I could like be anywhere and be able to record.
Man, you better than me, bro. People got to come to me for my podcast.
And then Imperfect Action Show, that's virtual.
Right.
And I use that leveraging more online. It's definitely one of my lead gen strategies. But yeah, those are the difference.
So this is what you do. This is not including the team podcast that you do.
Yeah, so Imperfect Action, I don't do that. I really just do Pursuit podcast.
So
excuse me.
The Imperfect Action, have your team doing that.
Yeah. And then I have another one on the horizon called Millionaire Manifesto, and I'm not going to be doing that either.
Got you. So people can Google and on YouTube and look up, Imperfect Action and see your podcast like doing this thing.
Yeah. So In the early stages, I was hosting,
Right.
you know, but now, like, no, it'll be a guest. It'll be a guest host.
Interesting.
Yeah.
Interesting. So how does the payroll work when it comes to, having your own podcast and everything?
I pay the host, and they're incentivized too, because like if they tee up somebody that's gonna close, then they'll get something on the back end too.
Got you.
But it's great. Like having hosts is great, especially if they're hungry. Like if they want to launch a podcast, or if they want to get better at speaking, or if they want to meet like high net worth individuals, and individual that has a lot of value, it's a great opportunity for them.
Okay, so when you're doing closers,
Yeah.
well, they would be podcast setters, I guess you could say.
Yeah.
Right. Right. So like when you're looking for those, you're only looking for people that are interested in creating a podcast or want to create a podcast.
Yeah, I'm only looking for people that want to host, have hosted, or want to launch a show.
Got you.
Because then
got
it's in
you.
line with them.
Interesting. So everything's intentional in what you're doing, and then of course the outreach people is just outreach people.
Yeah,
that you can get.
100%.
Right.
Yeah.
So that's good. And then the closer's a closer.
Closes is closing.
It's the same strategy, bro, just differently.
Yeah.
It's crazy. Every time I think about it, every time you say it, I'm like, dang, why not think about that? You get what I'm saying? You know what I'm saying? It's like new information. It's not new information, but it's a unique model.
Yeah,
you know what I'm saying?
Approach.
It's a new approach on how you can it just makes you think what other business models you can use in that exact same fashion.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? So like tell the people, like, where can they find you? What can they do? Like how can they reach out to you, bro?
100%. So all social media platform is at It's Brendan Boyd. And if you want to see if you would be a good fit to be a guest on the show, I would text the word guest to 213-410-4920. See if you would be a good fit to come on a free show. And, if you're an entrepreneur or a business owner, and we could just kind of go from there.
Y'all heard it. Look, this man got one of the best unique models I have ever seen. I don't think I've ever heard of anything better. So I want y'all to tap in. This is a personal referral. All right. This isn't even like a hype situation. We planning on doing this ourselves. So anybody who won't be on this podcast, y'all already know what's popping.
And I'll leave you with this. If you are a business owner or entrepreneur that needs exposure, and you need to get on more shows, there will be a link below. You could book a call for a pod agency, 100%, and then we could take care of you.
Look, y'all got to tap in with my man. Y'all know I don't give a lot of referrals.
Look, is generational wealth and legacy building something that you've been trying to do? Is legacy building something that seems hard? Is something that, is far-fetched? Well, look, I got something better for you that'll literally change the game and how you view things. We are coming out, and it's already there. Literally click the link below. We have something called a free family business workshop. This is a free training that's literally going to show you from A to Z on how to build legacy, what legacy means to us and what legacy should mean to you all. And guess what the method is based off of? The Rockefeller method. Have you wanted to make $600 billion just like the Rockefellers? Is this something that you've been struggling to do? Well, look, we got the best thing on the planet. The family business workshop is the way to go. So I'm telling you, click the link below, join that family business workshop, learn the Rockefeller method the right way, because we're literally doing the exact same thing that they're doing. The whole life policy, the trust, the ministry trust, the family trust, the private trust, showing you how to build everything from the ground up. This is what we're going to be doing.
This is the real deal. Y'all tap in. Appreciate y'all. Subscribe, comment, like, click all the reviews, leave a review, all the amazing stuff y'all know how to do. And then I'll see you in the next episode. Peace out.